So, I just had one thing that I really wanted to talk about today, guys, and that's Baldur's Gate 3. Now, listen, I'm not here to shit on this game if you guys really like it. I understand it is for a specific niche group of, individuals that like these types of tactical RPGs with a level of, like, hyperrealism to the point where you can do all sorts of various different things. I understand that's interesting for some people. However, one thing that has been annoying me is that everybody has said that this game is changing the face of RPGs as we know it. Not just tactical RPGs, but RPGs as a whole. And I think that that is absolutely fucking stupid coming from some of the fanboys of this type of game. While I do think that this will open up the market to show that there are a lot more people that would be interested in these types of games and having these character interactions, it does not speak to RPGs as a whole. I personally am much bigger of a fan of action RPGs. I don't usually like tactical RPGs. I can't stand turn-based combat. I know that that's not the case for everybody. There are tons of people that do love turn-based combat, but for me, I find it to be slow, boring, and the only time that I've seen any type of like meshing of this sort of like dice roll situation with cards, for example, or things along those lines is Lost in Random, where it mixed like real-time combat with having to do these dice rolls to get your next items and whatnot. Other than that, though, I think for the most part, fucking turn-based combat is exceedingly boring. Now, I will just chalk that up to, hey, this is not my type of game, but what I really think is ridiculous is that tactical RPGs are really based around the story and all of these various interactions that you can have with different characters and how you can customize your own character. I think the character customization here was absolutely fantastic and really allowed for a lot of customization. However, I think that where it really falls flat is how some of the things that occur within the story are really stupid and seem like they're just meant to force an interaction between you and a certain party. For example, when you show up to this camp that's being attacked by goblins, instead of when you kill the goblins helping the town, them being like, oh yeah, take the shit from the goblins, they're dead anyway, or being mad at you like, hey, you shouldn't have killed those goblins, you should have just knocked them out or something. Instead, they arrest you for looting the shit, which I don't understand why, when I literally just murdered 20 goblins in front of you. What's the harm in taking their shit at this point? So things like that add a level of like realism, but stupidly in a way that doesn't really make sense story-wise. And so I felt like interactions like that really cheapen the story and plot overall. And on top of that, to expect this level of interaction in any other type of RPG, like action RPGs or anything else that's more based around the gameplay rather than the story, is absolutely fucking stupid. I do think that there is, of course, a place to have these large games with all sorts of character interactions and whatnot. However, to say that, like, oh, this is going to change RPGs as a whole, and even smaller RPG studios need to go ahead and start making these really large games, is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Obviously, there's already an issue with crunch and getting games out incomplete and not working properly, and so, too, I do actually agree with the developers. To push this idea that every game should be like Baldur's Gate 3 is absolutely stupid. Of course, if it fits the title and it makes sense, and at the end of the day the company has the resources and gall to do it, then that's great. However, to say like, yeah, this is changing RPGs in some way is absolutely fucking stupid, unless you're just saying tactical RPGs, in which case I can probably see more of what you're saying there. Now, what do you guys think? Do you think I'm entirely correct? Do you think I'm entirely wrong? Let me know in the comments down below. Besides that, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram. That'll pop up during the outro, and the rest of our links are down in the description too. We have gaming sessions for gaming content, movie and Smokin sessions for movie content, CrazyRocky for variety content, and the Try Podcast as our podcast channel. All right, guys, I'll see you all in the next one. I stay out of my head to the depths of the universe. It's a spell or a chance just to open up a newer card.